Welcome to episode 7.
Yeah.
I see you're getting out the Dinosaur.
Obviously.
It's actually a really good spot for him, like on the bottom of the microphone.
Yeah. It is his domain.
Wow.
Where he can rule over the dice in peace. He can look all over them.
Everything the light touches is our domain.
Probably shouldn't have gotten all the dice out, but I just like looking at them sometimes.
There's no reason not to.
Space.
They'll be easy to grab. It's perfect. You do have a lot of them.
I know, and I'll be having even more.
Yeah.
I treasure all of my dice. They're precious.
Well, no, I know this one was supposed to be, like, smoky, and it came out almost entirely clear with just a few wisps, but I really like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of the smoky ones came out almost entirely, like, dark with no light, which just makes them black and gold, which is, a way to be, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely the balance of, like, smoke to not smoke only comes in 2 parts in this set, and it is, can you tell at all that it was supposed to have a different color for the respective other color?
Yeah. Alright, well, we've got some supplementals for you before we get started. Just a few that happened around the same time as the last session.
Yeah.
And one that happened a little bit later than that.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Supplement. Anita and Yulia talk. Pardon me? Yulia said in a small voice, as if she hadn't heard Anita's explanation. You and I are going to be allies. Maybe even friends if you play your cards right, Anita elaborated. I meant the other part. You can't be serious. Oh yes, deadly serious. That drink we just shared was practically more poison than drink. I'd say we've got about an hour to get this properly sorted out, or we'll both be dead, Anita said in a nonchalant voice. You can't just do something like that, Yulia nearly shouted. Can and did. You can't afford to be wasting time denying it, though. I'm going to report this to the Crown right away, Yulia tried to sound smug. Go ahead, though do be careful of the time it takes to finish all the paperwork. I hear the bureaucracy up there at the castle can be a real bitch. You aren't worried about the guards? What are they gonna do? Arrest me? I'll be dead by poison by the time they finish throwing me in a cell. You're lying. You don't seem at all scared about this. I've been through worse and I'm here to tell you about it. Just recently, even. So, done objecting yet? I guess. Anita turned to look at Elise, who was staring at her with her mouth agape. What? I said I'd handle it. If you have any complaints, can I ask you to wait until the process is over? You're taking up valuable the poison seeping into my veins time. Elise nodded in agreement and sat back to listen. So, Anita continued, turning back to Yulia, someone's out to get you. Yeah, I'm staring right at her, Yulia quipped back. Me? Nah, I couldn't care less. The whole Upper District drama just really doesn't interest me, unless it's about the slave trade. What interests me is Greta. Greta? Yes, Greta. Pay attention. What did you think this was about? Yulia opened her mouth to talk back, but Anita simply continued and talked over her. Someone poisoned Greta the other day, while you were talking to her. To the death, even. That's what gave me this idea. Don't give me that look. Greta's fine. She's a witch. Anyone stupid enough to use poison that's not nearly instant on a witch is practically asking for whatever happens to them. Yulia looked unsettled. So, you think I did it, so you poisoned me back? Anita looked at her like she must have the brain of an insect. No, don't be stupid. I already told you, I'm here to make friends. Silence filled the room for a moment while the two locked eyes, Yulia looking incensed and Anita staring back with a bored expression. So, Yulia broke. What now? Anita mercifully spoke up. Oh, yeah. Like I was saying, someone's got it out for you. Greta's got enough allies that if it was you who poisoned her, you'd probably have met some kind of grisly end. So, frame her, kill you, probably kill you too. 2 birds, 1 stone, yada yada. Any idea who did it? Why would I know? Someone's after me? Why? I'm just a teacher. Yulia became indignant with all the practiced air of a noble used to getting what she wants. In the first place, you're telling me that I'm the victim here, but you're treating me like the perpetrator. Anita rolled her eyes. We really don't have the time to be dragging this out. Can you drop the stupid noble routine and just be yourself? Getting through your layers of pretend is taking an awfully long time, and we just don't have that much. About 45 minutes at this rate, I think. Can't be sure. Yulia sat back down, and an unpleasant look crossed her face for a moment before she settled into being calm. Fine, if that's what you want. I still don't feel anything from your poison, by the way. I think you're lying. Anita shrugged. You can believe what you want. It'll be fast-acting past a certain point, but I made it myself, and I just thought that vomiting our guts out would make it pretty hard to have a conversation. If you wanted to go that route, you should have told me. Yulia's eyes narrowed, but her tone remained even. Well, that all aside, of course I know who did it. Probably the little Zombutt girl. She's a sheltered fool, but a sheltered fool that doesn't like me, has money, and a motive for Greta being dead with all the stress Greta's causing her mother. Little bitch doesn't understand much outside of her own home, and probably just paid some people to make the bad girl go away. What an absolute joke. Could also be the Dior main house, but I doubt it. They have a motive for getting me out of the way and the means to do it, but they wouldn't harm a hair on Greta's head, as far as I know. Something about being observers. She sighed heavily. Then there's Nadia, who I've been pestering to come home. She hates me a good deal these days, but I don't think she's stupid enough to have gone after Greta. Other possible suspects include the LaBruce family. Elise spoke up in a furious tone. Who the hell do you think you're accusing? I ought to have your... Anita waved her down and Elise shut up. Go on, Anita said calmly. Right. Other suspects include the LaBruce family, the Gilbert girl, or, the most unlikely, the Florette family. But, to be honest, I have my doubts about any of them. So, are we done now? Anita raised her eyebrows. Done? Not even close. We're not friends or allies yet, remember? The anger was clear in Yulia's voice. Then what exactly do we need to do for that to happen? Anita fished around in her lab coat pockets for a moment before pulling out a thin vial with a few small things already inside. Just put a drop of blood in here and I'll do the same. Then I do a small incantation and it becomes a component I need for the spell that will cure us. But if our feelings towards each other are less than positive, or if there's any desire for violence, revenge, that sort of thing, the spell will fail and the vial will turn some color. Not sure which. Want to take bets? I think it'll be green. Though, it'll be a pain in the ass if it's red. What about you? Yulia declined to answer about the color. I see. So, what will it take for you to have positive feelings for me? Anita shrugged. Well, that's hard to say. So far, I'd have to say I'm pretty predisposed to not liking you. You're a noble, and even before I knew anything about you, I'd have figured you've spent a lifetime profiting on other people's misery. Now I do know you a little, and I can see that you're a liar, a manipulator, and you use your power to prey on the weak when they can't fight back. I don't think for an instant you've thought about wanting to change those things about yourself either. That's my baseline. Where are you at with me? Yulia paused for a moment, taking in those words, and then replied, I don't think hurling insults at you would be an effective use of our remaining time. Suffice to say, until meeting today, I had considered you inconsequential. Now that I've met you, I consider you inconsequential and incredibly full of yourself. Anita snickered. Who wouldn't want to be full of me? Elise nearly choked on her water. So, does that mean we're done here, or will you find a way to make your spell work? Anita went back to being serious. Oh, my spell's gonna work, because we're going to be allies by the time we need to be for the poison. And how's that? We were both just very clear about not liking one another and seeing no path to reach that. You don't have to like your allies on a personal level to have a vested interest in their well-being and success. You already want me to succeed, so now we just need to work on my wanting you to succeed. It was Yulia's turn to raise her eyebrows. Why would I want you to succeed? I don't even know what your goals are. Ah, my bad. I'm trying to save your life. Well, everyone's lives, really. The world is ending, and I'm one of the few people who can stop it. Yulia sounded sarcastic now. Sure, and I'm about to be the next princess, and with my magic powers I'll grant all the little children toys and candy. Anita shrugged again. If those were your goals, you'd already have my support. But why don't you try being honest instead? I'll be honest after you. You can't just lie and get my support. If you're not going to put an honest effort into this, then I guess we're just going to have to die together. Anita laughed. See, there we go. That sounded a lot more honest. Sure, I can see why you might feel that way. I don't exactly have proof I can show you, but I did tell you the truth. I'll give you some more information. Maybe that'll help. I recently broke myself into 1,000,000 little bits with a spell. Just came back today, actually. The spell brought both me and the princess to the bottom of the abyss. There we met with a very angry goddess who couldn't do shit to me because her hands were tied. Pierced, I guess? Anyway, she was pretty mad. I had to wait for Greta to stick me back together again, but she did great, and, well, here I am now, good as new, and with the knowledge that unless I get back down there to the bottom of the hole, physically, this time, some no good, really bad things are gonna happen. Not to do with the world ending, though. That part's happening either way. Don't worry, though. Greta and I will figure it out. Elise spoke up this time. But you said that was down to the gods! Anita looked over at her, surprised. Yeah, so? Look, I can be very convincing. They'll do what they've got to do. She looked back over to Yulia and winked. Okay, so, your turn. What do you want? Goals, aspirations, dreams? Give me something I can work with. Just then, Arlette came over to the table with an angry expression on her face. Anita dear, you've been away for weeks, and you get home only to spend all of your time with 2 other girls. I don't think anyone could blame your wife for being jealous. Or I would be, if I couldn't already tell this is a very serious conversation, which means you're doing work. You'll be done soon, right? Anita turned to her with a placating look. I was just seeing if I can't figure out who poisoned Greta. It's important. You know, so she doesn't die. I'll be back to giving you my attention soon, okay, honey? Arlette went from play angry to clearly actually angry in a moment. You just lied to me. You better have a real good reason. Anita straightened up. Okay, fine. I'm trying to be allies with this girl Yulia here, who was related to that whole mess. We're in kind of a hurry, though. But I really will get back to spending time with you soon. All right? Arlette narrowed her eyes. In a hurry? And why is that? But just then, Greta came into the tavern, looking around. Spotting Colette working a table, she approached her. Arlette gave one more, You better stop trying to work on the very day you get back soon, or there will be hell to pay, before turning and giving her attention to Greta for a moment. For those of you who remember, we had this moment with Greta from Greta's perspective in the last session. Yulia had a properly nervous look on her face now and whispered across the table, "She doesn't know you poisoned us? What are you, stupid? Isn't that your wife?" Anita opened her mouth to defend herself when Elise piled on. "Just how absolutely reckless can you be? At this rate, she's going to come back over here and lecture you until the two of you drop dead." Anita finally got a word in edgewise. Okay, it was a bad move. Look, just, Elise, you distract her, okay?" Elise looked surprised. "Distract her? Me? How? With what?" Anita made a waving gesture with her hand. "I don't know. Figure it out. She's coming back. Just do something." Arlette was waving Greta away. "Escape, dear, before I do what I'm about to do." Greta fled. Before Arlette got all the way back to the table, though, Elise moved to get out of her way and slipped, slamming her arm against the corner of the adjacent table. It was bleeding slightly. Arlette got a caring look on her face almost immediately. "Oh, my dear, are you okay? I didn't mean to scare you away. You weren't my target. And, oh, Colette just left, too." Elise spoke from the floor. "Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, I don't suppose you've got, like, a med kit lying around? Please? I think I need help up, too." Anita talked over her to Arlette. "I'll be done with this by the time you get back. Promise." Arlette gave her a look, but continued to help Elise out of the room. Yulia stared at Anita. You really are that reckless? You really did poison us?" Anita nodded. "Yeah, I mean, it's hardly reckless, though. I'm a witch." Yulia looked at the table for a moment. "What I want more than anything is Emma." The silence at the table felt oppressive before Anita snickered. "Emma Gilbert? The one that lives upstairs in Greta's place?" Yulia nodded. "That's the one." "So, what is it? Love? Hate? Revenge? You've got to give me more than that, you know." "I don't really know. When I was a little girl, still a little girl. When I was a little girl, I used to see her sometimes, peeking down from her room in her old house, watching the other kids play. It was like a ghost story. Everyone knew the Gilberts had a little girl a long time ago, but she'd died. Sometimes there were whispers about seeing a pale little face staring out the window at the park, and the usual rumors that if you saw her you'd be cursed, or your eyes would fall out, or something else unpleasant. But one night I saw her clearly. I was wandering the park all alone, and I had climbed a tree nearby. She poked her head out to see. I think she must have felt suffocated in that room with the blinds shut all the time. So she was just trying to get some air while she could. I watched her for a long time that night. Don't think she ever noticed me. And I've just sort of wanted her ever since. That's all." Anita sat back in her chair. Then I take it you're the one that killed her family?" Yulia rolled her eyes. "Oh, you make it sound so dramatic. Of course not. I wasn't entirely blameless in that whole affair, but that goes for most of the noble families in the Upper District. They really dug their own graves by wanting to make changes that would upset things, and that's just the way the world is up there." And the whole sicking the LeBruce family on her? "Oh, well, yeah, that was me. If she became a slave and I owned her contract, I could figure out what I wanted from her on my own time. And if it turned out that it was just ownership, well, she'd be mine for as long as I wanted. I did not expect Greta's interference, though." Anita laughed. "Of course not. It's times like this, even more than times when she's just put me back together again, that I know I've made the right choice for a student. You were kicking around someone weaker than you, and she made you stop. You absolutely deserved all of the trouble that came your way. Yulia flushed. I will gladly talk to you more about that at some other less pressing time. Now, is that enough or not? Anita nodded. Yeah, I'm good. I can't say I feel inclined to want you to succeed at owning a person you've barely talked to, but I at least want to see what happens when I stick you two together in a room. And if you're still going to be a little shit about how you treat her and the rest, I want to see you taught better more than I want to see you killed off. So, sure, allies, I can do that. Anita pulled back out the vial and a needle to prick her finger with. After dribbling a bit of blood into it, she handed it over to Yulia. Your turn. How do you like my spell? Poison that only goes away through teamwork to make peace? It just came to me. It's nefarious. Supplemental. Nefri and Mimi won. The creature was awaiting her arrival, as they had agreed. It stared up at Nefri with its eyes intensely focused. Nefri froze under the glare of the new animal. The inherent weight of this creature was filling the small room, before it had even noticed her, but now that it had, that weight was bearing down on her. Finally, she broke. You cannot hide your true power from one of my kind. Reveal your true form to me, fiend of darkness. The weight in the room doubled, no, tripled as the creature stared her down. Nefri decided this called for more power than a simple demand. She spun in place, pulling her Staff of Revelations from its pouch, and gesturing at the creature using the 6-pointed magic circle her guardian had taught her. Heed the covenant and dispel the form that lies before me. Staff of Revelations, shatter reality and leave no underlying truth uncovered. It was then that everything changed. The creature made its first move in retaliation, leaping from its place and out of range of her spell. Its long tongue shot out of its mouth and pulled it onto one of the rafters, allowing it to scuttle out of sight. Immediately, Nefri gave chase. Digging around in her pouch, she retrieved a small flat stone with a piece of string tied around it. Spinning it to gain momentum while running to get a better view, she got prepared to throw it. You might have escaped the staff, but no longer. Binding Stone of Renga, I call upon your immense power to aid me in my time of need. Let this dark power run from me no longer. With that, she threw the weighted end of her contraption, but Mimi was too fast. With a flick of her tail, she sent the stone flying back at Nefri, and its residual momentum caused it to spin wildly around her, briefly tangling her in her own spell. Mimi used the opportunity to scurry to the underside of the rafter, walking along it and staring down at Nefri while she tried to untangle herself. As expected of Greta's creation, Nefri managed to speak out while trying to get free. You are fast and powerful, but I will reveal your secrets yet. Mimi attempted to talk back. Secrets? Yes! Your secrets. What are you? You are two, maybe three things in one thing. How can you exist like that? What is your true form? What power sleeps within? Reveal to me everything there is to know about the other world, and your true form there. Mimi's head turned to the side, and then kept turning until it had slowly rotated 360 degrees. Nefri attempted to keep up her stare, but she became uncomfortable before the spin had finished and flinched away. Mimi spoke. Yes, very power. True form. Power sleeping. Nefri's eyes narrowed. I knew it. Clearly I cannot yet best you. But you should know that I am no vassal for the darkness. You shall be the victor of this battle, but expect different in the future. Mimi blinked, then fell to the floor, appearing to almost splash like a puddle before reconstituting herself. Very power! Nefri backed away, crawling backwards on her hands and butt. What is it that you want? Stay back! Mimi advanced on the girl, ever staring, Before long, she was only a foot or so away. "Want snack!" Nefri screamed. Supplemental. Anita and Elise. "What the hell did you think you were doing?" Elise had already had it with the witch. Not only had she completely tipped her hand to Yulia immediately, but she'd done it in such a stupid, risky, reckless way. "You're in my lab." Anita sounded grumpy, and was giving the most intimidating glare a person was likely to be able to give someone while not having slept. "Who let you in my lab?" "Poisoning yourself? Are you stupid? You just finished telling Greta that you and her both have to make it to the bottom of the hole, and here you are immediately betting your life on what? Getting a small bit of information I could have easily gotten for you?" Elise approached, but remained out of arm's reach while Anita came into the room and sat down at an empty desk. "No, really, you can't just come in here. Didn't you see the sign?" Elise looked over her shoulder as Anita pointed to a blank spot on the glass leading into her lab. "Sign? What sign?" Never mind. Just get out." Anita's disappointment at her sign being missing seeped into her very tired voice. "I'm not moving an inch until you talk to me about this. We are working together for now, and I'm not going to be able to take you seriously until I understand." Elise suddenly got cut off by Anita talking over her. Fine. If you're not leaving, make yourself useful. Hold this." Anita passed her a vial of blood-red liquid. It swirled around in a way that made the vial feel as though it contained a living creature. "What is this?" Elise let out in a small voice. "It's the poison that was in me. Figured it'll be useful later, when I have somewhere to put it. God, everything is gone. At least the drawers and stuff could have remained. Absolute bullshit is what that is." Anita started tinkering with some things as she emptied out her pockets. Elise gave the vial in her hands a deep look, wondering what made it move like that, before deciding it would be better not to think about it. "Look, I've got a job to do. I'm acting as the liaison between Greta and my family, and that means also being a sort of secretary for her as well, and keeping her from making any major PR blunders, as well as—" Elise got cut off again. "And what part of all of that is where the protection is coming from. She's not your responsibility, and she can handle herself. She's a witch. She'll figure it out." Anita crushed a small flower on the table as the verdant smell wafted through the room. "That's my business now, too. Her mom asked me. And I've recently been informed that if she dies before getting to the bottom, who even knows what is going to happen?" The frustration in her voice weighed in the air between them. Anita sighed. "Fine." "Fine?" "Yes, I said fine. Do what you want. Protect my student. I'm busy. Get out of my lab." "I will not." Anita turned to look at Elise for the first time since seeing her standing in the empty lab when she opened the door. "You realize that I could create any number of spells that would send you literally flying out of this room. Very fast in some of them, but that's not my problem. Or I could turn you into a worm and use you in my next spell. Or I could simply silence you if your demanding gets too annoying. Now, get out before I do something nasty to you." "No, I'm not moving until we're done talking." "I am done talking to you." "Well, I'm not done talking to you." Elise stared Anita down as they glared at each other, until suddenly Anita laughed. Okay, sure. What do you need to talk to me about so badly?" Elise was suddenly unsure of where she stood, since the change was so abrupt. About the poison. This." She held up the vial. "You told me that if Greta and you don't get to the bottom of the abyss, some undefined terrible calamity will happen, right? So how could you just so carelessly risk yourself?" Anita rolled her eyes and began mixing the flour bits into a bowl of water slowly. I wasn't being careless. I was never in any real danger. So you didn't really poison yourself? Of course I poisoned myself. You're holding the poison. Elise looked down at the vial silently for a moment. Speak to me plainly. Anita continued in a monotone voice while she mixed her ingredients. I was never going to fail. The whole conversation was a spell, start to end, and I knew how it was going to go. Us working together on the cure was a necessary component for the spell not to fall apart. Even people like Yulia value their own lives enough to really try if it only means some small sacrifice like getting along with someone. Plus, if I'd failed and the poison had killed me, I'd have still been fine. My wife was there, and she's a powerful caster in her own right, not to mention all of Greta's friends, and in a worst case, Greta herself would have figured something out. But, truthfully, I knew it wouldn't come to that. The poison would never have killed me. No risk. Are you immune or something? Elise was sounding confused. No, I'm immortal, or something like that. At least right now. Immortal. Yep, can't be killed. Or rather, won't be. It's complicated. What exactly do you mean by that? Anita shrugged. I don't know how it works. I just am. Elise blinked. You've tested this? Anita laughed. Oh, yes, I've tested a negative, just like I have proven that wazzles don't exist. Elise was silent for a moment. I don't understand. Anita turned to face her again. It's easy to prove that something exists or is true. Just show it to me. You want to tell me that invisible creatures called wazzles are all around us? Test it. Throw flour on them. Let me touch one. Easy. Do you want to prove that they don't exist? How are you going to do that exactly? I haven't died, Elise. I know that I can't. At least not right now. But you're asking me to prove that I can't? How do I do that exactly? Short of, dying? I'd offer to let you behead me right now if you wanted, but something would prevent it from happening, or I'd come right back somehow, and then it's not a true test because some mysterious thing happened that prevented the test from going how it should. Is that proof that I'm immortal? Of course not, but it doesn't make it any less true. Elise groaned. Are all witches like you when they get older? Yup. Elise sighed. Fine. Help me trust you because we're going to be working together. Anita raised an eyebrow. And how do you want me to do that? At least, if you're going to do things like this again, let me in on the joke. Anita laughed. No. Alright, so, when we last left off...
Yep.
When we last left off... What's going on? I'm like this every time. I need to, rethink it until I get to the point.
Gotten through getting some items?
Yeah, you were gathering items for the spell. Mm-hmm. You had finished talking to Ren, and...
I sent my girls off to collect more imprints.
And you cast a protection spell. Yes, they're having a birthday party for any random goblin they can find that will claim that it's their birthday.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get down there and there's gonna be 20 goblins that are like, it's my birthday!
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That's okay. It'll be fine.
At this rate, you're looking at establishing a holiday. Won't be the first time.
To be fair, it is also the death day of the demons, so...
It is, which is hilarious. Oh my god. Anyway,
Well, I can't help it. They agreed to it.
Mm-hmm.
And as a witch, it is therefore my duty to do witch things.
That seems like
witch
a
things,
bit
witch
of a
things,
stretch. Seems like a bit of a stretch, but if you want to go with it, then yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm gone with it. I've already started collecting components. This shit's done.
Yeah.
Right in chance.
Yeah. Alright, so, I think we ended the session with you, you sending Colette off, or Coralie off to...
I also got stuff, like the bones and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you
from
did.
Nia.
Yeah. Huh. Alright, so...
I'm gonna go find my 3.
You know, it used to be that you could say that and I would know which 3, but...
My 3 goblins. Yeah.
Okay.
I collect in 3s. It's a thing for Greta.
I guess so. Because,
There's a good canon reason for it.
There is. Oh my god. I hadn't even thought of that, but they're actually... Yeah, because your first 3 was Colette, Coralie, and Emma. And...
No, it goes back further than that.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. I just lost that other 3.
Oh. I can only think of Carmine.
I'm pretty sure we had someone that went with us for a while.
Oh.
It might have been Colette.
Yeah, it totally
was still a pack of 3 for a while.
Yeah. And then Carmine got crushed by a tree.
And we couldn't not have 3s, so I redeemed a murderer.
Yeah.
Look, I'm really practiced at redeeming murderers. This isn't my first go-around at that person killed a lot of people, but they're gonna be aight.
Oh, yeah. Poor Coralie used to be a serial killer.
Yeah, she's not anymore.
No, now she's kind of a sweetie.
Mm-hmm. Fix that up real good. Witches.
Oh my god.
There's a story there, but like we are doing a session.
Yeah. In all seriousness, I'm sure Luna is proud.
Mm-hmm.
With your non-violent solutions to getting people to stop doing violent things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greta's very practiced at it at this point.
Yeah. Alright, so, you're going to go find your 3.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you checking? Home or the restaurants first?
I'm gonna check home first, just because if they're not at the party, it'll be a lot easier to sneak off with them.
Okay. Fair. Alright, you head home. As you are coming into the place. Actually, no, that can't be right now. Putting time together. Alright, so you get home. Just gonna go knock on doors?
Yeah.
Alright. You definitely get some answers.
Hey.
Who first?
I guess I'll start with, I'll just gather them all up.
Just gonna, go into the central portion of your house and be like, Goblins, get down here!
No, I mean, they're all on the same floor, right?
Yeah.
Knock, knock, knock.
Okay. Well, there's a bit of a shuffling. Nefri comes out of her door. Rafe and Mora come out of Mora's door.
I'm gonna be standing on, the handrail guide.
That looks dangerous.
It's not.
Nefri
takes a step backwards.
Nefri tries to push you.
Okay.
She's seen you walk on air before.
That's a nat 20. Alright, I'm gonna roll to, drag her with me.
Okay.
Just, grab her hand. Do I add anything to that? Like brawl, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, then that'll be a 17.
Okay. She shoves you off of the base of the stairs, but you grab her hands and pull her over the railing, too.
I let her float over me for a moment, and I grab her by her hips, and then I spin so that I'm standing.
She, definitely does her best to make a pose. It's not very graceful.
Yeah. I dance on over back to the main part where they can stand and tear down.
She does a bow to the others. They don't seem to be as amused as as she is. Mora speaks up. So, what's going on?
Well, I want you guys' help with the spell if you're up for it.
Sure, what kind of spell?
Well, is everybody up for it or just you?
She's used to answering for them, so she turns and looks.
It has to be personal. Witch magic things.
Nefri is, of course, nodding. And Rafe is like, what kind of spell?
It's not going to use you up or anything like that. I just want you to witness it.
That doesn't answer the question.
Well...
That, deliberately doesn't answer the question. Which, gotta say, makes me more nervous, not less.
I don't want to talk about it here, where people might overhear.
Okay.
But I do have to buy some stuff while we're in this part of the city, so...
You have my tentative agreement?
Neat.
Based on what the spell is.
Yeah. Alright. I go shopping with them.
Okay. Mora and Rafe kind of lag back to get some time to talk to each other, and Nefri essentially walks right next to you the entire time, pointing at every little thing and being like, what's that? What's that?
I will describe as many of them as I can to her.
Okay.
I'm also having Mimi fill in when I know that she knows the word, because I did that thing with her the other day.
Nefri seems iffy about Mimi.
That's fine. I am using it as, teaching the both of them time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to my uncle's, and we're buying ropes and chains.
Okay. You head over to Claire's. And of course, when you get in, Nisi,
Uncle!
Welcome!
Hi!
It's always good to see you. What can I do for you?
I'm gonna have these three each pick out a rope or a chain, and then I'm gonna buy that for a spell.
For a spell.
It is for a spell. It's for a safety spell.
Don't give me that. I know what you kids get up to.
You saw what I did with the last chain I bought.
Yeah.
You were in that spell.
Yeah. So, he leads the goblins over to an area and starts digging through things to show them different ropes and chains.
Yeah. I tell them just to pick their favorite one.
Okay. You can tell he's actually starting to get the hang of how to talk to goblins a little bit more now. So, when he's showing them to them, he's not like, this one's really strong or anything like that. He's like, even I don't understand why this one's so strong. It shouldn't be able to hold as much weight as it does, but, it definitely,
I mean, he's probably got some really good stories since he runs a semi-thrift shop.
Definitely.
People come in and drop stuff all the time.
Embellishing, talking about how the person who sold him this item came in cloaked in the middle of the night and he never saw their face.
Yeah.
You can tell a lot of goblins have probably been finding their way in here since you brought them here. And he's definitely starting to get it.
Yeah.
All right, well, eventually they've all picked out their three.
All right, I buy them.
Nefri looks particularly excited about hers, whereas Mora and Rafe ended up having to play a small game of chance to decide who got what.
Yeah, perfect. Let's see. Remind me, when you're doing the, promising ritual thing, is it the person, accepting the promise or giving the promise that gives the item?
It's the person... Okay, so... This was so clear in my mind, but you've got me confused now, too, so I'm just going to...
Okay.
Going to go over it start to finish. So basically, when one person makes a promise to another, the person who is making the promise gives the item.
Okay.
and the person who is receiving the promise holds on to the item until they no longer have use for the promise. So if you were to promise to keep a secret from someone, or for someone, the person who entrusted you with that secret would get an item from you. And then if that secret no longer needed to be a secret, they would discard the item.
Okay. So it's the demons that need to be giving the thing.
It depends on what you're using it for.
I have a spell, but they're promising the goblins that they're not going to be huge mega dicks anymore as part of the spell. Because of course I'm making them promise that.
Then yes, they need to be giving the items, and if the goblins throw away those items, then they're allowed to be huge super mega dicks again.
The items are going in a spell, so they'll never be able to throw it away.
I mean, if the item disappears, then the promise is no longer valid. So.
The promise is part of the spell.
Oh.
It was never discarded.
Well, it's not about... It's not about the action of discarding it. It's if you don't have it anymore.
Yeah, but it was still active when the spell went off. I think it's a good component.
I think it's a good component too, but if it disappears, that's a problem.
If it disappears, then, like, the effect that it still had, the meta tags that the world saw it having, is still the same.
At that point, you're reaching a point of, like, to the goblins, that item is gone, and there is no longer a promise there, but it might be still written in stone as far as the effects of the spell are concerned. But if they don't have, like, a physical thing that they can be like, I have your promise stone right here, so behave yourself, then...
What if I make them do it with 2 rocks?
And,
one of them goes in the spell and the other one gets kept.
That would work.
Then I'll probably do it that way.
Alright.
I am going to get, in that case, 6 items. Just in case they don't own things there, which I assume they do.
Yeah.
But also, they live in a cave as far as I can tell, so maybe they don't. And I want these to be nicer than rocks. So I'll just be like, here's a gift. You're gonna lose them soon, but, like...
They probably have a lot of goblin bones.
They're not gifting the goblins goblin bones. I just want, like... 6 identical lockets.
Okay. Alright.
Neat. Cool.
Then, getting those from Claire, too? Okay. The ones he has on hand are not exactly identical.
Are they really, really similar?
They're similar enough, yeah.
Okay, then I'll work with that.
Okay.
They don't have to be identical for the spell, I just don't want them to be, like, wackadoodle different.
Yeah, yeah. He basically says, you know, if you're looking for, like, truly identical, you'll probably have to go to Maldwin or possibly Sabina.
Nah, it's not that important. I just want them to represent similar things.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. Neat.
He sells you the items for so little money it doesn't even matter anymore because of your restaurant income.
Hell yeah. I pay him in my food cash.
Sweet, sweet food cash. Though I guess your restaurant income is...
Diminished, but I still have a lot of savings.
Yeah. You can still buy basically all of the tiny items you want without it making a notable dent in your...
Yeah.
funds.
Yep. Alright, well, I do that. I am going to go and see if I can get that feather next.
Feather?
Mm-hmm.
Which feather?
From my housemate.
Oh, okay. Nadia's feather.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. You go back home.
Yep.
Thankfully, it's right down the street.
Yeah, we are pretty close.
Nadia is definitely not in any of the main rooms, but when you knock on her door, she definitely answers it up. It does take a minute.
Yeah.
But... Oh, hey, Greta.
Hey, can I have a feather?
Yeah, want one that's here, or should I just dig around?
Any feather's fine, as long as it's yours. I'm using it for a contract.
A contract?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of contract?
They're really good for that, because they're tied to Euthemius. He's got all that bureaucracy and stuff.
Magical contract?
Yeah.
Can I watch?
Yeah, okay.
Can I take notes?
Maybe. I don't know how it's going to look to someone who can't see all the same magical stuff that me and the goblins can, so I'm really curious about that. But also, it's going to be a big spell. Actually, like, 2.5 big spells.
Well, I gotta admit, the school's libraries are pretty low on books about witch magic, so can't say I'm not curious.
Strange. I wonder why.
Not a lot of witches write books.
Oh, well that kind of makes sense for how witch magic works, but...
How's that?
Well, it's not like you can write down a formula and have a witch spell.
Why not?
Because it won't work that way. If you write down a formula that has a list of ingredients and a chant, and you have 5 different witches do it with what seems to be the same stuff, you will have 5 different results. Maybe not radically different, but definitely different.
Huh.
So, you know, like, cut and writ form witch spells are just not very useful. If you don't have the creativity and the knowledge of your components and the ability to choose the right stuff, you're going to end up with shoddy work at best and dangerous work at worst.
So, the few books that we do have on witch magic...
Oh, do they have formulas in them?
Yeah.
Then they're garbage.
I'll need to think about that for a bit, but...
Yeah, there's
She reaches behind her and plucks out a feather. So, actually, give me a perception check. Okay. You absolutely notice Mimi sneaking off. So...
Here's an example. If I wrote down feather as one of the objects needed for any of the spells I'm about to do,
yeah,
and somebody used a feather that wasn't from a feathered, or from someone they knew, it would change the tags the feather had. A bird feather does not act the same way in the spell as one of your feathers will. It's not even similar, except for, like, maybe containing analogies to wind or flight or lightness.
Well,
but
that sounds like a problem of proper documentation, not... I mean, say they did use a feather from a feather that they happened to know. Then is it fine?
Maybe. But there are other things to take into account, too. Like, for example, I don't know what your dream is like, but I know that many feathered have dramatically different dreams than other people, and dramatically different dreams from each other. So, let's say one of them had a dream that involved falling from great distances, and a different one involved dark alleys at night or something. Those tags could end up in those feathers, making them already really, really different. And if you're trying to use the one that has falling as an integral part of their dream, which is part of their self, in a spell that involves some kind of uplifting, you're going to run into some problems.
I see.
There's just a lot of things wound up in the objects you use, in the research you do, in how you put things together, even in how you gather things. Whether a person knows you took something, whether it was given consensually or not. All of these things can pile up in a spell and turn it real fast from something that you have full control over to something that is whack-a-doodle out of your hands.
So, can you see all of those things about my feather just by looking?
Spell and try to find some of those out. But you can't just see them.
So that's just a matter of keeping track.
Yeah.
I see. Well, you're right, it would be very difficult to write a book about witch magic.
Yeah, even with just that one problem.
Well, witches just aren't trying hard enough. Knowledge has to be passed down somehow.
Yeah, you teach someone the principles, and go from there.
Well.
But it's a lot harder to give someone a book about witch magic and expect them to come out of it alive than it is to sit over their shoulder and make sure they're not writing a spell that's going to end their life accidentally.
Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Well, I will get some things together to take notes, if that's okay.
Promise not to share them?
I promise not to share them without your consent.
Good enough.
She goes and starts grabbing, something to write with, papers,
Yeah.
everything else she might need. You hear a shriek coming from another room.
Oh my, I wonder what happened. I read the supplemental.
Yeah.
Listen to the supplemental. I'll look over the banister.
You definitely see,
Everything okay down there?
Help! She's attacking!
Who?
Mimi!
Mimi! Come here!
Thwip. And suddenly Mimi is on your shoulders.
Were you attacking?
Attacking?
Why are you attacking, huh? What'd she do?
Fun.
Aw, I pet her.
Mimi drips down around your shoulders.
What a good girl.
And in just a moment, Nadia's done gathering all of her things.
I give Mimi a snack. It's just a bug.
Mimi is pleased.
Good, good. Alright.
She's like, I would love to take notes on that thing at some point, too.
It's just a familiar.
Well, yes, but you made it, right?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Well, I lift her liquidic body off of my shoulders. I mean, she's a creature of magic, and, well, she's got some frog bits, like her tongue. I pull it out to, arm's length. It's a lot longer than this, but my arm kind of ends at this length. Let go.
Mimi seems to be accepting this in stride as repayment for the bug.
And she has a pretty good time getting around.
Yes, I've seen. She's faster than I would expect with, well, a build like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's got two very fast animals as her base.
But what keeps her together?
Hey, Mimi, what keeps you together?
Snacks.
I bet her. She'll get better at talking over time, but,
Not
stacks
exactly
fewer.
the answer that I was hoping for. Wait, she'll just continue to get better at talking.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to the point
This is
of
very early stage for her.
being able to hold a whole conversation?
Yeah, I've been working on teaching her how to speak.
Oh, well. Well, then I guess I'll just have to wait and interview her myself.
Alright.
Though I will still need to hear the story from you at some point.
The story?
Yes.
By the way, we're walking.
Okay. She hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
The story. You made her.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I took my frog and my jumping mouse and I built a spell so that my frog wouldn't die. And...
But why those two animals? And...
Well, because my frog was precious to me.
And how did you know how to make that spell in the first place?
Well, what do you mean?
The spell to put them together. That has to be complicated.
I mean... Not any more complicated than any other problem I come across.
I see. Well,
Plus, a familiar is... Okay, well, it's those two things, but it's also part me, because when a witch makes a familiar, they're imbuing it with a lot of their own magic, which ties it really tightly to them. It also, as an unfortunate side effect, burns out the soul of those other two animals. Like, they're still in there, but if they died right now, there'd be no reincarnation. So, you know, not gonna let that happen. They're not really at risk of it while they're still my familiar, but if I ever, like, severed that connection, there'd be... Well, yeah. A lot of magical animals are like that. The amount of magic poured into them to make them that way destroys their soul in the process.
I see. What if they die at the same time as you?
Can
they,
piggyback?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't heard of anyone doing that, but I'm sure it's possible.
Well.
It might just automatically sever the connection and then know which to hold on to, so...
Yeah. Well, okay. And she's fine with that?
Are you fine with that, Mimi?
Fine.
There you go.
Well, I see. She scribbles down some stuff.
I really didn't want to lose my frog. I put it off for as long as I could. My pet Mimi. You came out really good, though.
Really good.
Alright, we are at the gate.
Alright.
Gonna go check on how those imprints are going.
By the time you get to the gate, it is... It's Kerwin who's at the gate, and he is very upset with Nia. Or not Nia, Nadia.
What?
He's like, You quit. Everybody's quitting. I have to work almost every day because all y'all are just quitting this job out of nowhere. And he looks over at you and he's like, and don't you think that you're blameless either, Greta? They all somehow seem to end up with you. Is it just the people that you talk to every day that you just have to
you're in trouble,
collect?
aren't you?
I'd think so, but obviously you've known me almost the longest now, and I haven't ended up...
Need a job?
No. You're not getting me to.
Oh, well.
But Nadia, you... First you come in, you want the job, but you don't care about the money at all, and then one day you just up and quit? That's not fair. She's like, I found a better job. Shouldn't you be able to find a better job? Isn't Sabina your mom?
She's right, Sabina is your mom.
He's like, well, yeah, but this job it's a good job. It's good for, entry-level stuff to get into the castle.
Oh, is that your goal? You want to get into the castle?
Well, it wasn't, but it is now.
Okay. What other things do they need up there?
Oh, well, I mean...
Like, do you need to be combat capable, or just paperwork?
Not really. Just the paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork in this job.
Well, this doesn't seem to be setting you up to be good with paperwork.
There's a lot of paperwork in this job. Maybe not for you. Miss already has a whistle, comes and goes whenever she pleases.
Ah, yes.
And another thing. I shouldn't be letting you go up and down. The only reason I do is because you'll just walk over the ledge anyway. But do you know...
I have restaurants down there with people.
But do you know who gets yelled at because some groups of people just walk through the gate like it's no big deal when everybody is supposed to be
Tell
banned?
them it's Greta Camden. Everybody knows.
I do. But I'm supposed to be the one being like, no, Greta, you can't go down.
Well, now you've expressed that.
You're just going to walk down anyway.
It's true, I will.
I might as well let you.
Yeah. It would be more convenient than me picking each of these people up individually and just running them down.
Yes, it would.
Thank you, Kerwin. I appreciate it, Kerwin.
You're welcome.
Would you like a muffin or something?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay.
Just get on the gondola.
I get on the gondola.
You swear it goes a little bit faster than normal this time, despite that not ever being a thing.
I put a couple of muffins on the gondola.
Huh.
And then, tap it so you can send it back up.
Yeah.
Alright, I go check on the birthday festivities.
Alright. By the time you get down, they have, there are no goblins at North or East Gate, but there's definitely something going on in Southgate.
I go to Southgate.
Alright, by the time you get there, you can see that they went to Southgate because Lillian is keeping things very well organized.
Okay.
At least with her group and a good portion of the other two.
Yeah.
She is baking cakes, but kind of standing back and directing them on how to do it.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is very cheery, and you can tell that there are some imprints around. Colette greets you. Oh, hey, Greta.
Hey, how's the imprints going?
Oh, great. We're getting plenty of them.
Whose birthday is it?
It's everybody's birthday.
Happy birthday to everybody!
You get a resounding, thanks, Miss Greta.
Alright.
Colette's tail flicks around. Yeah, see, we started asking, but it turns out that goblins don't really do birthdays.
No.
And so, when we explained what they were, everybody wanted one. So, I guess everyone's birthday is today from now on.
I'll have to mark it in my calendar.
Yeah. I tried to explain that when more goblins are, I understand hatched? That can't be right. But when...
I look over at my 3. Do y'all hatch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't you?
No. We'll talk about it another time. Alright, well, when they're hatched.
When they're hatched... When more are hatched, they'll have a different birthday. But no one seemed to care that they're not normally all clumped on one day like this.
Oh, if they get annoyed by it, they can spread it out later. It's not like it's that important.
Yeah.
Besides, they might get jealous of Gar once they figure it out.
Oh?
2 birthdays.
Oh, yeah, right. But that's different.
Yeah.
Sort of. It's sort of different.
It's a little different.
Well, So, yeah, all of the goblins have a birthday today, except for maybe you three. Are you three claiming today, too? 3 of them are like, what's a birthday?
Well, go on, Colette. What's a birthday?
It's the day that you start existing, I guess.
When you hatch, and then every year on that day afterwards.
Yeah.
People get together and celebrate you. You have, like, a cake, sometimes gifts. Probably not gifts for everybody here, because that's a lot.
Yeah, I tried explaining it to them that normally birthdays are like a celebrating you kind of thing, so, like, putting them all on the same day kind of defeats the purpose, but everyone was too excited, so it didn't really matter.
If they're having a good time, that's all that matters. Anyway, you 3.
Nefri's like, yeah, today's my birthday.
Alright.
And the other 2 just sort of, yeah, okay, seems...
Goblin birthday.
Wouldn't want to be the ones left out.
Alright. Well, in that case, you guys better go get some cake before we head in.
Yeah? Is that...
It's your birthday, go get some cake!
Yeah.
I'll shoo them off.
They join the group.
I collect all the imprints.
You notice a group of goblins run over, practically tackle Nefri, and yell, "Happy birthday!" basically directly in her face and pull her in.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm spending time gathering all the imprints. I let Nadia know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it just looks like I'm, like, air sweeping something.
Yeah. She's definitely taking notes. You see her particularly pulling goblins aside and asking about this whole hatching thing. You can see her, like, trying to draw what an egg would look like and be like, yeah, like that.
Delightful.
Alright. Nadia's taking notes over there. The celebrations are going well. You can... you can see, with the whole group together, Lillian's doing a good job of keeping the kitchen in check. She's definitely directing goblins to to make cakes, and that's going very well. The cakes are coming out a bit strange, but, that's because all of them are trying to put in their super secret ingredient and things like that.
I go talk to Lillian.
Okay.
Have you considered having them make cupcakes? Then they could each make their own.
Oh, I think that's a fantastic idea. Yeah, I'll do that. Once this batch is finished.
Cupcake tins, or do you have any of your own?
Carrot cupcake tins?
Yeah, they're at Northgate.
Oh.
They just have little areas you can pour batter in.
Well, I do have my own, but having more wouldn't hurt. There are a lot of kids here wanting to make cake.
I'll make a quick run.
Alright.
I'll get Rafe to help me carry him.
He's like, yeah, sure.
Alright, we head off.
Alright. When you say a quick run, he says as you're leaving, you do mean we're going to walk, right?
What, you can't run?
Not as fast as you, that's for darn sure.
Can you jog?
Yeah, I guess.
Can you jog and chat?
If you don't mind me being out of breath.
Okay. We'll walk.
Yeah.
Well, we walk.
Alright.
When we get there, and I'm pulling out these tins, I tell him about the spells I'm going to do.
Huh.
Yep. I got the main guy to agree to it, and the other two, realizing that he was just going to kill them since he didn't need them around anymore, also agreed. So, that's my plan from here. I'm going to rip them out of their demon bodies and put them in bodies that will honestly probably be substantially weaker than you guys, and hope that the fact that they are, not driven by their bodies to do a murder makes them not driven to do murders.
I see.
Also, I'm going to have them promise several times not to, in magic. It's also sort of killing them, but also sort of not.
I gotta say, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I mean... Okay. Killing him wasn't really on the table to begin with, right?
Not really.
Because if you had won the tournament, it would have been just a sort of leave each other alone kind of situation, right?
Yeah. Well, ideally. If he is a nightmare, or nightmare adjacent, then there's a chance that after he got to a certain point of hunger, he just would have gone berserk. So, that's not really a great answer to that.
Yeah. But, is there any reason you can't tell him you're gonna do this spell and then off him in the process?
Yes. One, that changes a whole bunch of things inside of the spell that I'd have to account for. That doing something to an unwilling target who hasn't consented, doesn't know, in front of a bunch of people who could also be unwilling targets that haven't consented, there's a chance people would get pulled in. And I don't want to do that. Also, it's just not the kind of person I want to be, to tell someone a frank lie and then murder them.
I mean, you're talking about someone who's killed how many of us?
Yeah.
Probably hundreds of thousands.
Probably.
Probably more people than there are in this city.
Yeah.
Over generations.
I have my doubts that it'll be entirely the same person that comes out on the other side. It frankly might be. And if there is even a moment where it looks like they might harm somebody else, then it will be the law of the land that they are punished severely for it. Also, they really shouldn't be able to fight back very much. They're, in a very literal sense, going to be children.
So, why don't we just wait until the spell is over and then kill them?
Because you're killing a child who may not even be the same person.
Why you gotta make it so complicated?
I'm a witch.
Can't you just, make a spell that'll put them to sleep instead, and then we can just all three walk over there, and then there's no child involved.
There aren't going to be demons anymore after today. That is at least partially been my goal from the start of this, is to just not let that be a function of the world anymore. There are 3 left. There are going to be 3 other things in there that don't eat people. Or if they do eat people, or attempt to eat people, which I don't think they could get away with their new body, then they'll probably be put to death. Just by the law. Without us interfering at all. On top of that, you'll know to be wary of them. If they get bitey, I intend to put them in, succubi form. incubi. You've been around Colette and Coralie. You know what they're like. They're empathetic. They know what other people around them are feeling. Those guys, they've never had that. Not in that way.
Huh.
So I'm hoping that'll be a learning tool to fix any of their problems. If they do things that are bad, then we'll be in a better position to deal with that. I intend to give you 3 basically reign over them.
I don't like that.
Why not?
I don't want them anywhere near me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want them to live, but if they're going to live, then...
Would you rather I just keep them with me? The way I see it is if they're around you, you'll be able to tell if they're doing anything.
Yeah.
You'll be stronger than them. If it'll make you feel more comfortable, I can buy muzzles for all of them. I kept Coralie in a muzzle for a while because she was bitey.
Seriously?
Hmm? I'm gonna tell you a secret. When I first met her, do not spread this. I'm gonna need an agreement on that.
Of course, yeah.
She was a serial killer. That is, she went into that place when it was a hole that had a bunch of monsters in it. And when other people would go in there, sometimes she would help them out, but if they were her type, she would lure them into the woods and kill them.
Huh.
She did this to a lot of people. And I found her one day with someone that I liked, preparing to kill them. And I stopped her, and I spanked her, and I...
Excuse me?
I stopped her, and I spanked her.
Okay, no, but do you mean that, like...
Like, you know...
No, but, like, you beat her in a fight, or...
I mean, you could say that, yeah. Anyway, she was a crying mess by the time I was done, and, I brought her back up into the city and told her never to do that again, and that if she was going to, that I was going to make her not, and she couldn't promise me, so I signed her into slavery, which is why she is in slavery now, and watched her like a hawk, eventually killed her nightmare because that was partially what was causing the problems. It was a nightmare of an old serial killer that had done that, and the imprints from that is what she formed from. And it was just succubi. They form from, you know, these imprints you see on the ground? Like those ones, that pile I just made?
Yeah.
You can see that, right?
More like, feel it.
Okay, well, when enough of those are gathered in one area, eventually, sometimes they'll form into a succubus.
Huh.
I'm gathering imprints of joy and happiness because that is what a succubus is made of, is usually what they end up liking to eat when they're alive. So if I'm setting them up to want to be around happy people,
I see.
then hopefully that will also be a teaching tool.
He digs around in his pocket for a minute and comes back out with a small, almost palm-sized stone with an X scratched into the top. It says, "A symbol of our covenant."
Thank you.
Okay, I see your point. I can't speak for the others, but, like, I personally don't really want the responsibility of looking after one of them.
Okay.
If
you don't want that, if they don't want that, that's fine. I'll figure it out. I want you to be in the position where you feel as safe as possible. And if that is being able to see how actually weak they are, knowing that they're not a threat to you, and teaching them to behave like the kind of person you'd want them to behave like, with the full knowledge that you could grab them by the neck and shove them in a puddle. Like, then that is a position you could be in.
Whole thing leaves kind of a bad taste in my mouth.
I understand.
I just,
Look, it's not the first time that I've worked with someone who had a dark past and made them into a person who is not garbage. If that means I have to keep all 3 of them on a leash and walk them around with muzzles for however long it takes me to get to the bottom of this hole, then that's what I'll do.
Okay. Well,
I don't mind taking on that responsibility.
considering the alternative seems to have been not very good, I will help you out however I can, but I definitely would prefer to be around them as little as possible.
Okay. I'm not going to make you do anything.
Great. Alright.
That is the nature of the spell that I would like your help with, though.
Yeah. What do I need to do exactly?
Well, for one, I'm going to have them promise in a spell to you guys to not do any harm. Using the ritual that you guys often do. I spin the little rock in my hand.
Ah. Okay. So I just need to hold on to a symbol of that covenant? No big deal, I can do that.
And, aside from that, just witness what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can do that.
Alright.
Wait. Let me backtrack just a second here.
Hmm?
Does that mean we're going to go meet with them? I don't like that.
I guarantee your safety. If anything happens, I'll ruin them.
That's not real comforting, you know? But, if it's what you need, then sure.
I, having piled out all of the pans, give him a hug. You're gonna do fine. And you're gonna be fine.
He hugs you back, and it does seem to have helped.
I have personally kicked the shit out of 2 of these guys. It'll be okay.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I heard you beat up one of them, but a second one too?
Oh yeah, well the last time I went in there, one of them, threw a tree at me.
Aren't they supposed to be peacefully waiting for this tournament?
One of them wasn't. She decided she was gonna kill me. She obviously didn't.
Yeah. It's gonna be fine.
Last I saw them, they were both cowering in fear from the third guy, so, whatever.
Alright. Well, cool.
Alright, let's go get the others.
Yeah.
Drop off these cupcakes.
Alright. So, you head back to Southgate.
Yep.
By the time you get there, Lillian's got the oven cleaned out. There's a cake that is half gone. It seems to have been like they tried to make it in the shape of the restaurant that they're all sitting in, but that doesn't work very well, especially because it's just built into the side of a wall.
Yeah.
It looks very strange, but
it looks like this.
Yeah, about like that. But they iced it and are cutting it up and passing it around. Poor Izzy has been backed into a corner with, like, a bunch of goblins wanting to play games with her, and Caspar's in a similar situation, but enjoying it. Well, yeah.
Alright. I, get the 4 that are going with me together, and then all of the imprints.
Alright.
There I go.
Okay. They follow you down.
I've got kind of a lot to carry, so...
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Nadia approaches. Is that part of the spell?
What?
You personally carrying
No.
all the stuff.
I'm just a lot stronger than these guys.
Oh.
I grin over my shoulder at them.
Well, I offer to help, but I'm taking notes.
Mine.
Apparently, goblins hatch.
Mm-hmm.
I
heard that.
Fascinating. There's a whole process, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently, after an egg is created, they kind of... They find an object of some kind to put with it.
I see.
In order to, offload some of that object's special properties onto the new child.
Neat.
And I don't really... I need more information, but it seems pretty fascinating. On top of that, they don't seem to be raised by just, like any 2 people. It's
I heard a little bit about that.
by a group, and, well, it's just all very fascinating. I'm going to continue doing my research.
Yeah. Did you see the box with the clothes?
Box with clothes?
Yeah, all of their clothes.
Oh.
I told you I'd hold on to them.
Oh.
They're in the living room.
Oh. I need to come out of my room more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'll take some notes on that when we get home, too.
Not a great idea for me to just run them up to the castle myself. I'd probably get frustrated and toss them or something.
Yeah. Got any problem with me putting copies of that book in places where people can read them?
The goblin ones?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That's good.
The less mystified they are, probably the better they are.
Yeah.
In the city.
Yeah. Well, a depressing number of people actually read, but...
Yeah. Still.
I will happily do that, then.
Alright. We get to the thing. I provide the bridge that allows the gobs in.
Alright, give me a perception check.
Alright. 14.
Okay. Notably, that doesn't seem to be necessary anymore.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Before you've noticed, Nefri has just walked right in behind you.
Alright, neat. I let them walk in then.
Alright.
Neat. Looks like you don't need me to be the old bridge arm anymore.
Yeah, what? Why?
I don't know. Probably something to do with your dream.
Nefri steps out and steps back in. Steps out and steps back in.
Congrats on your out of that area agency.
Huh. Well, if I need to run away, now I can.
It's true. I ruffle her hair with, my elbow because I'm holding a lot of stuff. Alright.
There are 2 demons in this game.
Hey, guys.
Still huddled where he left them.
You want to help me carry this stuff?
Sati speaks up. What kind of stuff is it?
For the magic.
Oh. You need all that?
Yeah.
You can't
Which magic?
You can't just,
Did you not see the other kind? You saw me, build the water thing, the big old storm?
No, I wasn't there for that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Witch magic uses components. The other kind of magic is useful, but, like, it's really stuck to rules. There are limited ways you can use it. Witch magic just kind of looks at rules and laughs, but you need to use a lot of stuff for it.
This is boring. Let's just go.
Alright.
She gets up, rouses her sister, who is mostly asleep. She's had a long week.
Yeah.
But she groggily gets up and follows you all out of the cave.
Alright. There's that big wide field area, right?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to start setting up spells.
Okay.
I am setting theirs up, basically, like, but with probably 10 feet of space in between each.
Yeah. Alright, as you get started, out of nowhere, you hear a boo from right behind some of the goblins.
Are you being a jerk?
Scream and scatter. Ren's just laughing.
Ren?
What?
How many times do I have to tell you not to make me think you're evil?
I didn't harm a hair on their head. What do you want from me? It's been boring.
Stop scaring the witches.
Oh, whatever. Fine, I'm just playing.
Do they look like they know that you're just playing?
He gives them a little wave. Don't worry, I won't eat you. See?
You're so convincing.
Well, what do you want from me? I'm playing by the rules.
Uh-huh.
You told them I'd play by the rules, right?
I did.
Well, then they have nothing to be scared of.
You just really try to lay on that creepy factor, don't you?
It's what I do. Besides, you have no idea how boring it's been in here without all of them.
What do you just normally watch, or what?
Well, no. I normally scare the pants off of them.
Okay, well anyway, these two are yours. I give him 2 lockets.
Huh.
We're gonna use them, so don't get too attached. I passed 2 out to each of the other ones, too.
More of your food?
No.
Okay.
Are you familiar with, like, the goblin ritual for promising?
No.
I call Nefri up. Nefri, explain that while I'm setting the spell up.
Well, generally, when one of us makes a promise to another, the one receiving the promise also receives an item as a mark of the she seems really nervous to be talking to him. Meanwhile, he lays it on. He's like, yeah, speak up. I can't hear you.
You're doing fine, Nefri.
Thank you, Greta. So, normally, when you receive an item like that, it means that the person really intends to keep the promise, and if you don't need them to anymore, you can discard the item or gift it to someone else, or any other number of things. Even give it back to the person who originally gave it to you as a symbol of not needing them to hold to that anymore.
Got it?
It's a physically binding object. Ren rolls his eyes. Yeah, I got it.
How about you two?
They nod.
Alright, good.
Notably, Irie and Sati are trying to stay pretty far away from Ren.
I set up, basically a circle of eternal portions that they can each stand in, which with space for one of the cubs also, because they're involved in this spell. And I'm explaining the entire time that this spell is going to involve putting a promise on these objects from the demons to the gobs, and y'all better mean it, because it's going to be bound in magic.
Okay.
I give them the brief overview of, what goes into this ritual and what they are promising, which is, to not attack and to be good to people, basically.
Yeah.
And, also I am including blood from anybody who wants to contribute it in each of these circles as also a binding.
All right.
Yep. Also, I'm using the feathered feather and, a piece of a contract that I made at one point for secret keeping. You remember that one?
I do.
I threw a whole bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah.
And I'm putting just like a fragment in each one.
Huh.
All right. I told them that, when it comes time to do the promise and the spell, pass the items off.
All right. You've got, do you assign gobs to demons?
I let them pick which demon they'd accept the promise from.
Okay. Morris with Sati, Nefries with Ren, and, Rafe's with Irie.
All right.
Mostly because she can't talk and she's not very threatening.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. The chant. All three of you face your past. Your purpose dark, your sins are vast. Long is the shadow that you cast. Today you start to make amends. Who would be your enemies you must work to befriend. So now you will make this pact. Promise them that you will act with care, with kindness, and with tact. That them and theirs you won't attack. Bind yourselves to this contract.
All right. There's the characteristic flash of light as the components you were using for the binding dissipate. Left is just just one of the lockets for each of them.
Okay.
They're all...
So it should be both of them, because I'm using one in the other spell.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
Neat.
Just the lockets are left then.
Neat.
As consecrated items.
Yeah.
That you made yourself instead of buying online.
I know.
Anyway.
Look. Any witch worth her salt.
Yeah.
Alright. I ask each of the goblins for one of the lockets they're holding.
Alright. Well, you get them.
I'm going to use each of those in the individual spells for the Demoncubus, but first I'm going to do the Witness Protection program.
Your spell names, I swear to God.
Look, they're very important to me, and basically the best, so don't ask any questions and just accept that my spell names are classic.
They are classic.
Alright,
I won't deny that.
Anyway, I have each of them holding the rope and chain that they chose.
Yeah.
They each get a pinch of containment sand to hold on to, a little bit of my blood that I smear on that mark on their throat, and an eyelash from me.
Alright.
Also, I am smearing some of that blood on my throat in like a symbolic tying together of...
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Y'all hold hands. We are bound together in this fate, by my mark and by my name, by my blood and all I've been. I work to right the wrongs you've seen. Today, you come to see me pay my due. The race of demons will be through. Witness and be protected from my spell, as I cast out evil and forge out new hearts as well.
Alright. The Witness Protection program is complete.
Yeah.
Give me a roll.
That's gonna be... Oh, right, because it's a binding one, so I get to roll twice. Even worse. Neat. Let's see.
I mean, an 8's not bad.
Yeah, plus 7, so 15.
Yeah, you're good.
Neat.
Alright.
Cool.
Keep that die out.
The 15?
Yeah.
Alright. Now for the Demoncubus spells.
Okay.
Probably going to just do these all as one, since it's the same spell,
Yeah.
and repeating it would be dumb.
Yeah.
Alright, so I am arranging for each of them 2 fangs, 1 spade, 8 of the bones that are roughly in equal proportion for each one. They're on top of a pile of imprint. Just a honkin' pile of imprint. I break open the box that had, like, the extra 30 or so of them also. So, I don't know if that counts as a support spell, but I did use it to transport a shit ton of fucking imprint.
Yeah.
So, like, there is just...
Actually, it absolutely should. Give me another roll.
18 plus 6.
Okay. So, 24?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Did the promise ritual not count for one then?
No, that was different.
Okay.
It definitely reduced the difficulty level, though.
Okay. Well, in any case, 8 bones, 2 fangs, a spade. I have a, like, succubi symbol that I carve into the ground, and also, like, a symbol of Libestra, because there's so much fucking Libestra shit happening here.
Yeah.
You better believe I'm putting that in there. I also have the 1 locket for each of them arrayed on those.
Alright.
And some eternal fortunes and blood, as per, as you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Forgot to grab succubi venom. Whatever, that's probably for the best. Alright. In that case, after I've got that all set up, I am gonna do the chant.
Okay.
Neat. You have a choice. Stay and wait for your end, or sever this line and attempt your amends. If the latter, this body will be sent to its grave. It's only the soul I am trying to save. You can carry the old memories within. Where one path is cut off, another begins. Be reborn in a body where empathy is built in. May this teach you to be ever better than you have been. From these emotions, this heart, draw a line in the sand. Remember, recall, but be a new man. And from the world, learn as only a child can. Accept this chance. Just reach for my hand.
Alright.
It'll go off for them when they do.
They do.
Neat.
Immediately, some shit happens.
Cool.
Alright, almost immediately, as if they were puppets and someone cut the strings, their bodies just go limp. Just... there is a swirling mass of some kind as the components that you used all just sort of start getting used up.
Mm-hmm.
Notably, that swirling mass takes the form of the symbols that you drew out for Succubi and Libestra, because of course they do.
Uh-huh.
After a moment, there are 2 of them sort of overlaying each of the piles of imprint, and once all of the components are used up and have become part of that, they flow into the ground right there, and the imprints are gone.
Neat.
A couple moments later, each of them congeals into what seems to be a new body.
I'm gonna go check on them.
Alright. Who you checking on?
Whoever's closest. I was standing in the center, so who was that?
Probably Ren.
I'll go check on Ren.
Actually.
Yeah,
no,
you want to put the other
Sati.
2 on the ends?
Yeah. Probably Sati.
I'll go check on Sati.
Alright. You see a succubus girl. She's got most of the same body characteristics that Sati did, but she is definitely smaller. Notably, she still has the very long succubus tail.
Alright.
Or succubus-style tail. It's probably twice as long as normal for a succubus, but very wiry.
Yeah.
And As you're cautiously approaching, I imagine.
Caution.
As you're confidently striding over, all of a sudden, all three of them wake up, screaming at the top of their lungs.
I poke them. Hey.
They get it together pretty quick, but definitely a bit of, backing away from you quickly. Who are you? What do you want?
I'm Greta. Welcome to the world.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Hi. How
Hi.
are you?
Not sure how to answer that.
Well, I dig around in my pack and give her some clothes. You might want these.
She snatches the clothes and moves 10 feet back to start putting them on. Irie cautiously approaches you as well.
I give her some clothes also.
She's also got the abnormally long tail the same way that her sister does, and both of them retained their spiky teeth and stuff like that as well. They didn't have horns before, but now they do. And they didn't have as pronounced wings before, but now they do.
Yeah.
But they definitely look like they kept the succubus traits they already had.
Yeah.
Notably, both of them still have the, spiky shark-like teeth, too.
Hello. Welcome to the world.
Hi. She retreats behind her sister. And they get dressed. Ren's just laying there.
Go over to Ren.
Like a lump.
Hey.
Hey, what do you want?
I mean, not much. Want some clothes?
I guess.
I give him some shorts.
He puts on the shorts.
You just gonna lay there?
Yeah, not a problem.
Well, yeah, you probably should stay here.
Why?
I can carry you if you're too lazy to move.
Whatever.
I pick him up and put him over my shoulder.
He just sort of limp incubuses.
Alright. That goes for you too. It's not going to be very safe here for you.
What do you mean?
It's
dangerous?
How much do you remember from before? Anything?
I don't know.
It's okay. It's fine if it takes some time to work it out. But
are there wild animals?
Yeah, more like this place is going to belong to a bunch of other people soon, and they're going to see you down here and think that you're something you're not. So, how about you just come with me instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are you?
I'm Greta. Greta Gambin.
Right, Greta. Yes. Oh, okay. Going with... Yep. The two sisters are just trying to stay close to each other. And Ren is just snoring.
Yeah, that's fine. Ren's a baby, I get it. Alright. Well, in that case... let's see. Eastgate has an empty building for now. We'll head there first.
Nadia is furiously scribbling in her notebook.
Oh, did they leave bodies behind?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I collect those for sure.
Oh, yeah, their bodies, they're still there.
Yeah, I collect those.
Very not alive looking.
I put them in a sack.
Witches, not even once.
I'm not just gonna let good bodies rot. Besides,
Okay.
they're the only 3 in existence. They could be excellent components.
Yeah, notably they didn't turn into Umbra materia.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I don't believe me, I took note of that.
Yeah.
I think you would have told me if they became Umbra materia.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you gather up the demon bodies and put them in a sack.
I do, yeah.
Much to the discomfort of literally everyone watching except for Nadia, who continues furiously scribbling in her notebook.
Got that over one shoulder.
The goblins are definitely not really comfortable with what's going on. They're just trying to stay, a bit far away from the newly created demon babies.
Yeah. By the way, you 3.
Yeah, Mora speaks up.
These guys will probably live at our house, but I can keep them in my basement if they're gonna scare you.
Okay, I'm just not... we'll talk about it when we're not down here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eastgate, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if we go on ahead?
Yeah.
Cool. Goblins scurry away.
Alright. Did you find that interesting, Nadia?
Oh, yes. Extremely. So I have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
So many questions.
I make sure that the demon incubuses are nearby.
Yeah.
Like they're not getting lost.
Oh no, they're not really moving.
Well, we're walking.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm, like,
well,
making
then
sure.
yes, they are moving, but not away from you.
Yeah.
So, one, what happens to the items when they disappear?
They're consumed as part of the spell.
Yeah, but what actually, happens to them? What's the process?
What happens to wood when it burns?
I mean, there's a...
It turns into smoke and ashes? Well, this turns into magic and the thing that you want.
Huh. Okay. So are they, Are they the same people?
They have the same soul, but people get reincarnated all the time.
Yeah, that just changes my question into a more complicated one. Okay, so they have the same soul, they have a different body, but, obviously you changed Izzy into what she is now.
Mm-hmm.
Is she the same person?
Izzy's the same person, yeah.
So, if Izzy's the same person...
Izzy didn't leave a corpse behind either.
Oh. See, I didn't know that.
What, did you think there was just a human boy corpse around somewhere?
Yeah.
No. There's some cocoon goo. Not the same thing.
Okay, putting a pin in that.
And yes, of course I held on to the cocoon goo.
Ew.
Probably should have used that in this spell. Anyway.
Okay. So, they have the same soul, but in a different body.
Yep.
So what makes them, okay, so they left behind corpses, but...
Yeah.
Does that really make them not the same people?
I don't know.
Huh.
They're not demons anymore.
So...
They don't eat the same thing anymore.
You just kind of gotta wait to see how they personally identify? Is that what's...
I have a running theory that the fact that they had to eat what they had to eat may have contributed to the fact that they did murder.
Okay, that makes sense, I think. But... So... You're saying... Well, that doesn't answer the question of whether or not they're the same people, though.
We'll just have to see. It's not like anything in my spell could, do that 100% either way.
Yeah.
They obviously didn't recognize me when they got up. They would have recognized me before, for sure.
Satya speaks up. Hey, it's rude to talk about people in the third person.
Well, you're totally allowed to come up here and talk, too. You've just been hanging back there.
Yeah, well...
Well, get up here, then.
She cautiously inches closer.
Why are you so afraid?
Because you're... some kind of something.
What do you mean?
I don't know what you are.
I'm a gar and a witch.
You did something.
A spell.
Sure, yeah.
You don't sound convinced.
The spell's like this. She elbows Irie. Show her. Irie conjures a small fireball. It's, like, pathetic, dear.
Oh.
The spell's like that.
Yeah, for regular magic. Do you remember that I told you that witch magic ignores the rules?
She elbows Irie again. Put it out, you idiot! It goes out. What?
Witch magic doesn't follow the same rules as regular magic. But it is magic, and it was a spell. It just doesn't listen to the same parameters as other magic.
No, but I remember you did something.
Witch magic?
Not that. Something... big and scary and bad.
Really? Like what?
I don't know.
Can you describe it at all?
No.
Well, then I can't figure out what you're talking about.
That's not my problem.
Well, it is if you want me to understand what you're trying to accuse me of. As far as I know, the only spell you've ever seen me do was those three.
Just... where are you taking us?
Up into my restaurant.
Up into your what?
It's a building I own where I cook food.
Her eyes go wide.
I'm not going to eat you. God, don't give me that look. Look, I'll cook you something, alright?
Her eyes go wide again.
From what I understand, when you were demons, you couldn't enjoy regular food, so I'm going to make you some regular food. Like a cookie. I'd take you to the birthday party, but I think that might overwhelm you.
What the hell's a birthday party? Is it dangerous?
No, it's just a lot of really happy kids. It'd be a lot of emotion. You're a new succubus.
A new what now?
You're a succubus. Like, Colette and Coralie. You've seen Colette. She was in here, right? Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, well then you'll just have a lot to learn. We get to the border. Ready?
What are you gonna do to us in the cave? Huh?
Oh no, this leads somewhere.
Sure. Yep.
Nadia, would you step through so they can see?
She shrugs and steps through.
See?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, going. They step through.
Alright.
Ren is still fast asleep.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm carrying him like a sack of potatoes over one shoulder and his corpse like a sack of potatoes over the other.
Witches, I swear.
Yeah, we go through. Alright, I lead us all up to Eastgate.
Okay. Notably, pulling the sack of corpses through takes a little bit of effort.
I'm sure it does.
You walk through and it's like, you have to like turn and really pull on it to get it to come with you.
That's okay. I'll get it through.
Okay.
Blink.
Alright, you head up to Eastgate.
We get into the restaurant.
When you get up there, you hear goblins whispering back and forth to each other.
Hey, are we too early?
No. Come on in. It's fine.
All right.
Rafe goes and sits on the other side of the room.
Alright, I'm gonna make some cookies.
Alright.
I put the sack of corpses, in a location, then I make cookies. I put the sleeping guy just kind of draped on a counter.
Okay.
Nap boy.
Nefri almost immediately walks over and starts examining the two that are awake. Very, curious.
Mm-hmm.
She's grabbing them by the horns, making sure those are actually fixed on there, and pulling their eye open to look deep inside, and opening their mouth to take a look at their teeth.
Yeah.
They seem too overwhelmed to know what to do about it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mora's like, Nefri, come on. No. Nefri's like, they have secrets.
Alright. I figure that probably Nadia is taking notes while this is happening.
Oh, yeah.
I make cookies for everybody.
Alright.
They're a pretty quick batch because probably the dough was already made.
Yeah.
This is a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I just, I heat up some cookies.
Only takes about 10 minutes.
I pass out cookies, nice and warm, to everybody.
There's a lot of, everybody chowing down on them except for the new demons that are like...
Put it in your mouth. And chew it.
This isn't food.
Try it. Trust me. Greta takes a bite at the same time.
They chomp down on it. Notably, their teeth are not very well suited to this.
Yeah.
But, they do seem to like the flavor and immediately start chowing down on them a bit more.
Neat. I've got a big old plate of them where people can just go after them.
Yeah. Alright.
Get them used to, other food.
Yeah. Hilarious. Well, there's a lot of them getting a little bit more comfortable eating, solid food.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a couple close calls with, trying to swallow too much at once.
Yeah.
But, yeah, cookies go well.
All right.
Cookies go over very well. In fact...
Damn, that's a nat 20 on this one.
That is a nat 20.
See, it's not just me. For everybody listening, she does roll them.
It happens sometimes. Alright, so, that was their roll to avoid throwing up eating too many cookies, so they're good.
Neat.
There are not enough cookies to cause them to vomit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They are probably enamored with cookies, at least a little.
Yeah.
Alright. Hey, Nefri. You done looking at them?
For now.
Would you go grab Coralie for me?
From Southgate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Alright. Greta's tail wags.
Let me bring the creature with me.
Okay. Well, go on, Mimi.
Mimi's like... For cookie.
Well, everybody ate all the cookies. I get all the cookie crumbs.
Mimi slinks down your arm and devours the cookie crumbs from your hands, and then drops to the floor and trots off after Nefri.
Perfect.
Huh.
Now this plate will be slightly easier to clean, or more difficult. Who knows?
Right. Mora kind of tugs on your sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
So, what exactly are we going to do with them?
Well, either I can put one of them under your care, or I can care for all three of them. I don't know what you're comfortable with. I'm not going to force you to do anything.
When you say care for...
I mean, they don't know anything about this world, even less than you did.
I guess that makes sense.
Also, I'm not sure exactly how much memory they even have of before that.
Yeah.
They seem to have some notable gaps, if you...
Yeah. Okay. But they're not as strong as before.
No.
Okay, good.
Obviously not.
Well...
Here. I, sit down with the strong one. Arm wrestle me.
With Sati?
Yeah.
She's like...
Put your hand like this.
What's that?
Just like that, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the goal of this is for one of us to push the other person's hand down onto the table. So you want to push with your strength to get my hand over there, and I'll push with my strength to get your hand over here.
Why?
It's just a test of strength to see who's stronger.
Okay.
So, make sure you try.
Yeah.
Greta pushes.
Greta pushes very easily and smoothly straight down.
Alright. How about try that with Mora? Maybe you can beat Mora.
Okay.
You want me to play Mora?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Go.
She loses very quickly, too.
She's a baby.
Mora's like, but...
This was the strong one. Like, that threw a tree at me?
Sati's like, I can't throw trees.
Well, in a past life you could. You'll just have to trust me.
Give me a perception check.
Let's see. 9.
It's sad, but you easily win. So I really like this die.
Isn't it pretty?
It is.
It's the one that looks like blood on marble.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I love all my dice.
So you easily notice Ren trying to sneak out.
Ren, where are you going?
He straightens up, turns around slowly. Outside.
Why? You haven't even, introduced yourself at all.
Fresh air?
You're gonna run.
You're gonna run.
I'll beat you if I do.
He runs.
I run? Plus whatever you want me to use for running
It doesn't matter. He rolled a 4.
Yeah.
And he's a baby. Okay. He makes it almost as far as the tree line before you are in front of him.
Hi, Ren. Running backwards.
Hi.
Where are you going?
He stops. I don't know. Going for a run.
Are you afraid of me?
Why would I be afraid of you?
You're totally afraid of me.
You're afraid of me.
Now, why are you afraid of me? That's weird. You were fine before.
I'm not afraid of anything.
It's a 19. Is he quaking in his boots?
He's trying very hard not to.
Look, I really am trying to look out for you. If you run off on your own, I can't.
Is there any reason why I should have to hang out with you?
Because there are going to be people that want you dead, and if you're around me, they're less likely to pull it off.
Let him try.
You realize that you are weak, right? Physically weak?
He shrugs.
They don't have to try very hard, Ren. Not right now, anyway.
Well...
I run combat lessons on the weekends.
I know how to fight.
Alright, fight me then. If you beat me, I'll concede you don't need my lessons.
I need just a second.
Okay.
I admit, I did not foresee this happening.
Greta's tail is wagging. A fight, finally. Climactic fight with Baby Run.
Jeez. This is so sad.
Is that the sound of an adjusting character sheet I hear?
Oh, yes.
Delightful.
Okay.
Greta spins and summons her weapon.
He does not have access to a dagger, so he just runs at you and takes a swing.
Cool. That's a great strategy.
Yeah.
He misses.
That's a 2, isn't it?
It's a 7.
Oh, okay. Whew. Still.
He's gotta hit it. He's gotta have like an 11 on that to hit.
Yeah. Or much more, even. Your AC isn't only 11, is it?
No, it's 18.
Yeah, okay.
He has to have plus 11.
Oh, yeah. No, he definitely doesn't.
Cool.
Yeah, no, he misses solidly. He spins around and almost falls on his butt, even.
See, I need 2 more. You and you. Alright, so let's see. I hit 16. Wait, we changed these numbers. Okay, so this one will be 11.
You hit him twice.
Okay. I hit him twice, so that'll be 2d6 plus 3. For 2 attacks, so that'll be 8. And, 9.
Okay.
I can will these to not do, like, lethal damage, so...
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I've done that.
Yeah. It would be such a shame to just cut him in half right now. 8 and 9, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Make an agility check. Or, like, anything that would allow you to dodge.
Alright. That'll be a 17.
Okay. As you...
Also, I have 2 clones.
Of course you do.
I hit him twice.
Yeah.
So I have 2 clones, so...
You hit him hard. He goes spinning and falling to the ground and lands about 5 feet away from you, skidding a little bit in the process. You are able to step away when you... actually, you have the choice to dodge his blood or not.
I'll just stand in it.
Definitely rolled high enough. Okay. It hits you and burns a little bit. You take 8 damage.
Okay.
From the ground, he's going to cover up his... You know how he has the sort of mottled look where one of his eyes has a black mark over it and, like, is red? He's going to cover up the other one and shoot an eye laser at you.
Alright.
Is that a 16?
Yep. I'm gonna try and dodge it with the clone.
Okay.
I don't.
Alright. The eye laser hits you directly. You take 2 damage.
I'm just going to stand in it and walk towards him.
Ooh, power move.
Yeah. Alright, so I hit him twice again.
Between the blood on you just sizzling and not really doing much, and you just walking towards him, eye laser included. He's definitely doing the, like, butt scuttle away from you.
Do you admit that I should be teaching you? I bounced the sword on my shoulder.
Okay, you're way stronger than me, but that doesn't mean I don't know how to fight. Just...
that anybody up there could beat you up, and if they wanted to murder you, you wouldn't have a way to defend yourself.
I mean, it's just goblins.
It's not just goblins in the city.
I see. People like you?
Yeah, obviously. Some people stronger than me. Not even an insignificant amount. I wouldn't be telling you these things if I didn't want to waste all that work I just did getting you a new body. It would be a damn shame if you walked up there and got murdered like the first day. Do you know how much I spent on those components? Some of those I can't get back. Look.
Aren't your priorities a little out of order?
What do you mean?
Never mind. Sure, whatever.
Greta's like...
I get the point.
Getting the blood off of her. I really am trying to look out for you. I mean it.
Fine.
I know you don't seem to be taking that seriously, but...
Whatever, I'll hang out for a while.
Alright. Neat, let's go back. Greta does a dog shake to get the rest of the blood off.
Stands up and sort of limps back with you.
I'll cast some low-level Luna magic to fix him up.
Yeah. You brought him down to like half HP.
I just put a hand on his shoulder and I'm like, all better.
He is quite a bit more fixed up.
Neat.
I mean, I don't think we've ever like actually written you any spells, but we need to do that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can easily heal him up with the amount of stuff that you know. It was only like 17 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so only he's like.
Greta's like, throws sword, it disappears.
What's up with that?
Oh, it's my sword.
You can just pull it out wherever?
I mean, anybody has one if they learn it, but yours would be different.
Yeah, that... Okay.
It's a very personal weapon. My family tends to get two-handed swords, though.
I don't want to hang out with goblins.
You'll be hanging out with me.
Yeah.
The goblins are intimidated.
They better be intimidated.
I know. Very scary.
Don't you take that tone with me.
Hey, you promised you wouldn't do anything mean to them.
I'm not.
So why should they be intimidated?
Anything mean. I was just gonna sneak out the back door and you'd probably never see me again.
Do you know who I am? If I wanted to find you, it would be easy. Frankly, you're terrible at hiding your scent.
He looks around for a moment and then, like, brings an arm up to his face. What do you mean?
I'm a Gar. I've got a good nose.
I am not sure that I follow.
If I wanted to find you, I could find you.
By my smell?
Yeah.
What, do I smell like blood?
I mean, not really. You're pretty fresh. A little bit of blood, but it's like your blood, so that's not really helpful.
Whatever.
Well, anyway, we get back. Is Coralie here yet?
Yeah.
Hey, Coralie.
Hey, what's up?
So, I did my spell.
I can see that.
Have you met them yet?
Yeah, but... No, go on, please. I want to hear this.
Well, I mean, I took their souls out of their old body and put them in succubi bodies because I figured, you know, that'll give them a chance at being good people.
Whew, yeah, okay.
I have the old bodies.
Yeah, I saw your sack.
Yeah. I mean, I figure that'll keep people from wanting to murder them outright in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, got 3 fresh succubi who really don't know anything about any stuff. And they all happen to also be previously murderers, so I figured you might be good at helping me figure out how to handle them. You know, they were more of the mass murdering type, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean... How exactly do you want my help?
I mean... You think there's anything I should look out for with them? Do you think they need muzzles? Are we good without muzzles?
She sort of looks around at all 3 of them. I mean, right now they seem harmless enough.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously,
When I can't watch them, can I leave them with you?
Yeah. Yeah, leave them with me. That'll be great. Her tail flicks around.
Alright.
I'll show them what's what.
Yeah, I know you will.
Just so we're clear, it's okay to get, a little rough with them.
Can you guys handle a little rough? I mean, we are talking about...
Ren's very... I can take whatever you give, bitch. But the other 2 are... What kind of rough are we talking here?
She won't hurt you unless you do something naughty. Alright?
Corley's grinning. Yeah, definitely.
Alright, well, speaking of needing you to watch them, I'm gonna go show these corpses to people so that they'll, know that layer is clear.
Okay.
I can't bring them
What?
with me for that. What do you mean, what?
At what point did you... why? Why would you think it's necessary to bring their corpses up there? Did someone ask?
No. I'm gonna ask Elise, though. And I'll have them, just in case, it makes a point. Uh-oh. Anyway, I'm gonna go handle that. Get them, I don't know, up to speed.
Alright.
You 3, behave. And you 3, try not to be so scared. It'll be alright.
Only Rafe seems scared right now.
Well, I don't single him out.
Okay. Fair.
I hoist the corpses over my shoulder.
Corley's like, you don't need, help carrying that?
No, I carried it all the way up here. What's a little further?
It's 3 bodies.
Uh-huh. And I carried that lazy boy on my other shoulder, so it's light, really. Yeah. I walk over to the gondola.
Nadia opts to stay behind.
Okay. Nadia, remember that you promised me not to spread any of this.
It's... my lips are sealed.
Thanks. Alright, I get on the gondola.
Alright, up you go. To see Kerwin again.
Hey, Kerwin.
Who's done with your illicit affairs in the abyss?
I mean, they're having a birthday party down at Southgate.
What?
Well, the goblins didn't have birthdays, so they all picked to have today as their birthday. They're having a huge party.
Greta, please don't tell me that you're flagrantly breaking the law and getting me in trouble just to have birthday parties for goblins. I swear to God.
Which one? I say, delicately dancing backwards out of the gondola.
Okay. What you got there? Relics?
No.
So, nothing to report?
Nope.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna go find Elise.
Everything is hilarious.
Elise.
All right. When you do track down Elise, it's not hard to follow her smell from, your house. She is just coming out of the back of Anita's lab.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Greta.
I took care of the demons.
Excuse me?
I took care of them. They're taken care of. Who should I tell about that?
You killed them?
Well, I've got their corpses in this bag.
Oh, shut up.
I it onto the ground. pull one out of the neck. 1, 2, 3.
Her tail was wagging when you pulled the sack out from, behind you, but she has since gone pale, and her tail and ears are drooping.
Technically, I don't know that they're all the way dead. I did kind of shove their bodies into, or their souls into different bodies, but these are definitely their old bodies, which are dead. Very dead.
Okay.
Their souls are in, 2 succubi and 1 incubus now.
Why? How? What?
Well, they're babies, so they're not very strong, and I figure with those bodies, they'll be more empathetic and more likely to become good people, and, well, yeah. Now there aren't any more demons. This is what's left of the demons.
You hear a whistle as Anita comes out of her lab.
I know, right?
Those are some good components you got there. You said these were nightmares, right?
Yeah.
She, crouches down and pokes one in the face a couple of times.
Well, at least nightmare adjacent, but,
But don't they,
These are also the only 3 that still existed, so...
Yeah, but aren't they
And he said when they died
be...
before, they turned into Umbra materia?
Yeah.
But they didn't here, so, I play around with the lips of one.
You might have the only 3 nightmare corpses to...
exist, I know, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
I know, I wonder if they'll rot.
Oh, that's a good question.
Right?
Yeah. Well, keep at least 2 of them in a freezer, just in case.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always clip just a part of one off and keep it outside, but that does kind of make it not a complete component anymore.
Still, a rotten nightmare corpse is also unique.
It's... yeah. Huh.
Anyway, do you think I should, show these to anybody to prove that they're dead? Or can I just tell them to go into the abyss because, they can do their farming thing now, it's clear.
Elise is just now looking between you and Anita going... well, first off, you shouldn't be showing corpses off we're outside.
The demons.
Greta, we are outside. People could be watching. Let's go into the lab or something.
I dragged the corpses into the lab. Still in the sack.
Okay. Okay. You can't just... Can't just
what?
What were you planning
I fixed the problem. There's no more demons.
Oh my god. Were you planning to haul a sack of corpses up to the castle?
Well, I mean, they wanted them dead, right?
Yes.
So what? Am I supposed to say the layer's clear and then not tell them how? But they moved to what? They're all in Prasath now. Look, it was always my intention to check with you first, so it never would have happened if it's a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea, and thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not overlooking your progress, because, good idea checking with me first. Taking a sack of corpses up to the capital, up to the castle in a city where, murder is illegal, is a bad idea. It's just a bad idea, Greta.
Well, it's not like I even really murdered them. This is just their corpses.
Oh,
they're not...
my god. Oh, this is the hardest assignment I've ever been on. You
can meet them. They're, at Eastgate.
I'm going to take a step outside and calm down.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Yeah, neat. I go back to examining my loot.
She steps outside. Anita's, looking through them as just like, these two have cool, sharp teeth.
I know, right?
Yeah. It's a shame that taking pieces off of these would be...
I mean, it would be breaking up the whole...
It would be.
It would have to be a really special spell for me to do that.
But sharp nightmare teeth, not in the dream as...
I know. I know. I know.
That's tough.
God, they even came from really strong people, too.
They were?
Yeah. I mean, that one threw a tree at me. Like, just plucked it out of the ground and tossed it while I was in the air.
That is pretty cool.
And the other guy was definitely stronger than her.
So what are you going to do with them? Any ideas yet?
I just got these. I wasn't even sure I'd get them out of the spell, so I didn't, bet on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Make sure to,
preserve them. Yeah. I give her a high five.
Okay, well, yeah, good component gathering.
I know, right? I got so many looks when I was shoving them into the sack, but I mean, you get to a certain point and you just know you can't leave that behind.
Right? What, did they just want you to leave them there to rot or get picked away by wild animals? Come on.
No. I don't know what they thought was the proper thing to do with perfectly good components.
Whatever. Well, hey, while we're talking, had a talk with Elise. Right. Oh, right. Fix things with Yulia, too.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah. Don't worry about her. She's working for us now.
That's good.
Or more or less. I gotta hold up a bargain on my end, too. But, probably a good idea to keep her away from Nadia, but if you see a good opportunity to introduce her to Emma, do that.
Yeah, okay.
Keep an eye on it, though. She's grabby. Anyway. So,
So the first layer's clear. That's fine.
Alright.
Second layer next?
Yeah. Well, first things first. I approve of Elise.
Yeah.
Got to talk to her a bit more. Yeah. Yeah. Good pick. Still not a fan of her family, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, Elise has done pretty good by me, so even if I look out the door, obviously frustrate her sometimes.
Oh, that's half the fun. Look at that imprint she made.
I know. Oh, that poor girl. It's seeping all the way under the door.
Yeah. Anyway. So, second layer when?
Well, I'm gonna get this all sorted out so that, well, people know the tournament isn't coming and it's taken care of. And then I, want to get a good night's sleep and then we can go.
Alright. I talked to Remy about his brief experience there. Seems like we're gonna have to win some games.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
So, know anyone good at games? Aside from me, of course.
Yes, naturally.
Gotta bring in, as many people as we can.
Well, I don't want people that are gonna beat me.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess as many people as would benefit us, unless we, just want to bring in a bunch of suckers we can easily win against. That's a strategy that would work good, too.
Yeah, it would be kind of mean, but also effective.
Yeah. How's that Florian kid?
What, you looking to lose him down there?
No. I just think it would be easy to beat him at some games.
It might be a good idea to bring some goblins.
You think?
Well, if they have anything rigged down there, then they'll be able to see the imprints on stuff.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Alright.
In a different way than we do.
Yeah, which goblin should we bring?
Well, I've got my assistant.
Alright, Nefri it is.
Assuming she's cool with it, obviously.
Probably
sure
a
she
good
will be.
idea to bring a succubus, too. We don't know that being able to throw someone off like that will be a good idea, but...
It might be.
It might be.
In which case...
Depends. Remy said they're very strict about cheating there, so it's gonna really depend on,
what the rules are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there isn't anything in the rules about, having your succubus friend make someone cry their eyes out and run away from the table, yeah.
Well, I would say that Coralie's probably better than that. Or better at that than Colette is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if Arlette would want to go.
She does not. She'd come if I made her.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna force it.
Yeah, that's for the best. Alright, so I could bring one of the baby ones. I do need to keep an eye on them.
Any of them seem like they'd be suited for games?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Alright.
I mean, after I get all this stuff sorted with the, y'all can go in the first layer, it's fine.
Yeah.
Then, want to come meet them? I mean, they are just kind of hanging out right now.
Sure. Why not? What's the worst that could happen?
I'm gonna be keeping an eye on them either way. Just like I did with Coralie, so. Except they're a lot weaker than she was, so it should be significantly easier.
Yeah. Oh god, Coralie.
I know. What a time.
Well, she's settled into her new life pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm sure these ones will too.
I'm sure they will.
Still
if I didn't
got that
think they
muzzle
had
around if you need it.
Oh yeah, I do.
Great.
Actually, if I modified a couple of the ones that I used on, my Bogarix, they'd probably work.
I knew that's where you were going.
Well, I mean, I had a bunch of those, because I caught them wild, and they were angry little bitches at first.
Yeah.
All I need is for them to not be able to,
Mm-hmm.
So it just needs to go over... It doesn't need to be skin tight.
It's just funny.
It's not like they're gonna starve either.
Yeah. Have you figured out their tastes?
Well, I'm hoping their tastes are going to be what I built their imprints on, but I don't know for sure. They're brand new. Very fresh. I pat my sack of corpses.
By the way... Did you end up using your corpse?
Oh yeah. I made a real nice spell with it.
Of course. What's it do? Oh, that's where it is. What's it do?
If I receive a death blow, or, am poisoned, actually to death, instead of only, I'm poisoned, I guess I'll fix it.
Yeah.
It'll take that for me. It's my body.
Yeah.
It accepts a death blow, and I'm fine.
So you're saying if you get stabbed, you're likely to just spit out a version of your corpse and be fine?
I don't think it'll get spit out. I think I'll just absorb the stab, and it'll be like, that sucks. That's a rude thing to do.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Also, it recharges. It eats up the imprint.
Yeah. Want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Alright.
Did you get a corpse?
No.
Aw.
I wish.
I'm getting all the corpse luck.
You are getting all of the corpse luck. But I did get a neat body. Take a look at me through your magnifying glass. She stands up and walks back a little ways so you get a good look. It is absolutely shining with witch magic.
Wow.
Like, head to toe, so bright it's hard to look at through that.
Neat.
Yeah. Guess I'm made of the stuff now.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Try not to get eaten in any of your spells.
Yeah, it'll probably wear off over time, but... yeah, that's a thing. I figure...
Well, if you want to chop off any magical parts and use them later.
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. But also...
Yeah. It's a great idea. Sorry. Sorry for cursing you with the knowledge that it is your best course of action to chop some body parts off and get them regrown.
Well, I've already been collecting quite a lot of my blood. I mean, it's my blood, but it's also basically made of magic.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to get more diluted each time, though, which makes me think that it's very likely that as I, eat new stuff and and so on, this effect will slowly go away.
Yeah.
But it's so tempting. Oof.
Well, think of some potential spells you might want, and what parts of you would be best for that, and then engineer something.
Yeah, I might do that. Oh, God. It's so not fun to, lop off one of your own hands or something, but...
Oh, yeah. It'd be even better if you could get, your heart without dying.
Oh my God, right?
What about a magic eye?
It's been a while since I've had one of my own eyes to use.
Yeah.
And the last one I had was all crushed up, so... I could get this one out nice and clean. Well, I'm going to think about mutilating myself, and,
In some circles, they would be calling for a mental doctor.
Yeah.
In ours, I'm like, I encourage you to do what you need to do. I'll be here for you when you're, weeping over your lost eye.
Yeah.
Waiting for the new one to grow in.
Well, I will go meet your new children soon.
Oof. Alright, well. I look and see if Elise is done freaking out yet.
She is definitely outside trying not to vomit, having overheard that last bit about the, lopping off a part of her.
Okay.
She's... When you look outside, she's standing there with, her hand over her mouth and the... trying to look like she's just concentrating or thinking, but, the moment you look at her for too long... she just shrugs and comes back in. Okay.
So, what should I do then?
I will go up to the castle and deliver the message.
Okay.
If they need to see proof, I will let you know, but I find it extremely doubtful.
Cool.
And that proof would definitely not involve taking the corpses up to the castle.
Okay.
In fact, you may have to sneak them back down into the abyss.
That'd be lame.
Yeah, well...
What if they try to take my components? I just got these.
Don't bring corpses to the castle, Greta.
I'm not gonna bring them to the castle. You just told me not to bring them to the castle. I was gonna throw them in my closet.
Oh... Oh,
to preserve them.
Look, having skeletons in your closet is...
They won't be skeletons. I'm not going to let them...
It's a saying, Greta. It's
I'm
a
not going to let them decompose.
That's not...
I'll probably put them in a spell like this one.
Oh, okay. I'll take care of it.
Okay, do you need me to talk to Melvin or anything?
Why would you need to talk to Moldman? Oh, the tournament. Aw, shoot, the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that. Okay. I'll make sure people know that the first layer is farm ready now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, you should know your teacher is insane and tried to poison herself.
I look over at Anita. Did you really?
Anita's like, I didn't try to poison myself. I successfully poisoned myself.
You look fine.
Got better.
She got better.
Elise rolls her eyes and walks out.
Elise is getting very tired of being around witches.
Yeah.
Just some good old-fashioned subterfuge. That'll help her diet. Alright, I'm gonna put them in that lock cabinet. You know the one. The one that is just a wall that I can put things through.
Yeah.
With one of my small fragments of ice just in between them.
Okay.
It can't hold the whole room, but it can hold the stuff close to it.
Yeah. You have...
a mini fridge, yeah.
Full of corpses.
Mm-hmm. Well, just 3. It's not full. It's a big room.
Oh my god. Okay. Yes.
Neat. Alright, well, I'll just leave the sack there too, and go get Anita, and we'll go meet with the...
Maldwin first, or downstairs
first? Maldwin. We'll hit Maldwin. I'm just gonna poke my head in and be like, okay, the tournament's off. I took care of it.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's off. We're not doing that anymore.
Oh. Alright.
Thank you for helping.
Wanna see what I've been working out with Truffle?
Yeah.
Awesome.
How's the Truff Boy doing?
Truffle is a very good and hard worker.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of ditched my original idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of it was working to be, automated at the hands of an animal that wasn't this smart, to be honest.
Oh.
So, a lot of the internal workings I had set up, they're just not really necessary.
Huh. Neat.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
Alright, here. Let me show you what we've been working on. He calls Truffle, who, storks into the room. Happily sees you, runs straight over to you, and starts, nuzzling and rubbing up against you, and soon you're covered in soil.
Yeah.
But, Maldwin, has a device on the ground that seems like it could hook onto him really easily, and he, snaps his fingers to get Truffle's attention, and he's like, Truffle, hook up! Truffle runs over there and, backs into the little thing
beep, beep.
And it seems to be built in a way that once he's in there, he can pull a thing himself, which clicks it on.
Yeah.
And so he has successfully attached himself to a sort of wagon-like device.
Yeah.
And Maldwin's like, okay, so as you can see, he can put it on himself, which is awesome.
He
can take it off himself by pulling the other lever. Truffle, disconnect. Truffle's like, click, runs over there, and Maldwin hands him a treat. Good boy. Alright, so we've got this little trolley device that he can hook into and out of, and I'm working on extensions that can go onto the back of that.
Yeah.
Now, for those, I'm thinking one that can plow ground if he pulls it over.
Yeah.
And one that's just a wagon that can carry things. And finally, one that he can have a spout that automatically waters things that he pulls it past.
What about seeds?
Seeds is a good idea too, but it's not up there as much.
Alright.
He especially likes the watering one so far.
Aww.
It's not exactly complete. I haven't found a way to get him to be able to refill it yet, but yeah. I'm working on it.
Well, you might be able to hook up some Luna magic to it.
Some what now?
Water magic.
Yeah. It's a good idea. I'll see if I can't find someone who knows water magic.
Yeah. It's also healing magic, so if you can find someone who's good at that, they might be able to pick that up pretty easily.
Noted. But, for now, I think he likes it because, I set it up so that one of the spouts kind of sprays over him, too.
Aww.
And he seems to love running in the water.
That's adorable.
Yeah. Well,
it seems like it's going well.
It is going well.
I scratch his little forehead.
I'm gonna put the farmers up there out of a job.
Aw, you gonna put the farmers up there out of a job? You're such a good boy.
Just a lot of snork, 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 snork. You know, excitedly running back and forth between you and Maltwin and rolling on the ground. And
Yeah.
he's just so hyped to see you.
Making the whole room smell like herbs.
Yeah.
What a good boy. Well, thank you for showing me.
Anita raises her hand. I seem to have used all of my tools in a spell recently, so you wouldn't happen to have a saw that can cut through bone really easily, would you? He gives her a look. Like, what do you need it for? She's like, cutting through bone easily.
Just her bone.
They stare at each other for a minute. Yeah, okay. Normally, I sell that sort of thing to, you know, the medics that are around, but if you really need one, and you're a paying customer, I can't exactly turn you away. Just be careful. She's like, oh, yes, sir, very careful. Going to be careful. Mm-hmm.
Well, nothing she does will be an accident.
He sells her a saw.
Alright.
Huh.
Cool. Neat. Alright, I've got another stop on this trip.
Alright. But
Yeah.
we're probably gonna stop there.
Alright. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
I too had a great time. Greta's like, if you can beat me.
He's like, of course I can beat you. Who do you think I am?
Greta's like, a baby.
Poor kid.
Yeah.
His blood sizzled on you a little.
I was like...
And he shot his sweet eye laser at you.
Very frightened.
Yeah.
He got to keep it. That's cool.
Yeah. If you had just offed him when he was in his other form, he probably would have been eye laser Umbra materia.
Oh my god. Oof.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I gave him a new body and probably his memories. At least most of them.
Something like that.
He remembered me a little.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, at least what I can say for most of them.
Yeah.
They remember me a little.
A little.
And also have some kind of memory of me doing a terrible dark thing, which I hope is the one that I did to them and not something else.
Right? Well, you did literally kill them.
I did, but they're fine. It got better.
Got better.
There was like a moment where they were definitely dead.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment where they're fucking fine, so I don't know what they have to complain about.
Well,
I did tell them that's what I was gonna do.
You did. You were very clear.
Yeah. I wasn't subtle about it. One of the spells literally said, the race of demons ends today, so like...
Yeah.
What do you want? The race of demons to continue yesterday? That's all they had.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed listening. Anyone who's made it this far.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming. As always, a very special thank you to our patrons and to Gina, our time patron.
Our time patron. Good old Gina. Gina of time.
Mm-hmm. As well as our normal patrons, of course, Alice and Rosada.
Yeah.
Thank you both. We really appreciate your support.
Big appreciate.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for sharing this with us.
Yeah, it's really fun to get to share D&D stuff.
I agree.
All right.
Till next time.
Till next time.